Welcome back to the OSP. There are plenty of big games on the schedule this weekend in the NFL, and with so many to choose from, Amber and I thought we'd let you guys know which are the best ones for you to watch. Now, Amber, I guess we should begin with one close to where we filmed the showdown here, and that would be the Jets and the Dolphins, right?
There is a big game at Dolphin Stadium.
Just a little big one.
Big game at Dolphin Stadium on Sunday. Actually, this is a tough one. I think it's going to be a great game. Obviously, we get to see Chad Pennington in his new role with the Dolphins against his old team, of course. We get to see the future Hall of Fame QB in Brett Favre. I wish I was actually going to be in town for that game.
Oh, but instead you'll be at some other football game.
We'll talk about that later. But first, let's focus on this game. So this is a tough one for me. I mean, I've been hearing people pick both teams all week long leading up. I'm going to go with the Jets on this one.
Really?
But, that's probably going to anger a lot of people.
I got to tell you, I was convinced that the Dolphins were going to be a really bad football team, and I still am convinced they're only going to win somewhere around 5 or 6 games. But
this is
I look at this to me looks like one of those ones you sneak up on the Jets and you can pull this one off. Now, here's a game, Amber, I want to talk about that doesn't have the star power of Brett Favre and Chad Pennington in New York and Miami in the rivalry, but to me it stands out a little bit, and that's the Lions and the Falcons. Now, before you laugh, because it's the Lions and the Falcons here, I'll tell you why.
Big time.
I'm interested in this in 2 reasons. Number one, I think this is the year the Lions break through. Last year they were overhyped and underdelivered. This is the year that I think the Lions will break through to the playoffs, and I'm interested to see how they've totally revamped their offense from this team that would throw 40 to 50 times a game to now they're going to pound the ball out and run with Kevin Smith, the rookie. Meanwhile, you look at the Falcons. Mike Vick, we're now 2 years basically removed from the whole Mike Vick disaster. We got a new quarterback in there with a chance to prove himself, a high draft pick in Matt Ryan. And I know that Matt Ryan's going to struggle, but I'm curious to see what the kid has. And this is one of those games where he might actually be able to win at home.
It's the game of rookies.
Yes.
It's the game of rookies, which, will be interesting to watch because these guys could be big-time future NFL stars. Cowboys and Browns, a game that's a
good game.
I'm excited to see because it's going to be a great game. Obviously, you have Tony Romo, who I really like. You have Derek Anderson, who just absolutely blew up last year.
And you got my boy K2,
these are two
Kellen.
big fantasy football player guys, tw Yeah, you do.
You got my boy Kellen Winslow in the house.
But that's not why you're wearing that jersey.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying that team is, it's amazing how talented, at least offensively, both teams are. On defense, Cleveland is a little suspect, but
they are.
Tight ends, wide receivers, everyone.
No, it's incredible, and it'll be a great shootout to watch. I think the Cowboys are going to win this one, but we're going to see which Cowboys team shows up.
Right.
Because as we all know, there's 2 different Cowboys teams.
Yeah, the team that plays in the regular season and looks really good on Hard Knocks, and the team that shows up in the postseason and chokes at home.
Yes.
So, I like that game. I'm curious to see how Derek Anderson performs after the concussion. He hasn't gotten much game time out since then. Here's another game to focus on. Does involve another AFC North team, actually a pair of them as well, like the Cleveland Browns. And this has the Bengals and the Ravens. I'm interested in this game for twofold. Number one, because, again, another young quarterback I get the chance to see, and Joe Flacco goes out there. He's going to get the start because Troy Smith is sick, and he's still battling some injuries, and now Kyle Bowler is out for the year. But also, Willis McGahee banged up, Ed Reed banged up, Ray Rice, the kid from Rutgers, who had a great collegiate career, he's likely to get the start there at tailback. Meanwhile, the Bengals, this is a mess of a Bengal team. And it all goes back to everything
What do you mean?
Well,
Chad Ochocinco.
that's great. I can't wait to see the jersey.
Ochocinco and the jersey.
I got to buy the jersey.
That's a big one. I had to buy it too. Oh, there you go. All right.
But not only just that, but listen, this is going to be a tough year for Marvin Lewis because basically the ownership put him in a position where he's going to quit or resign or get fired by the end of the year. I'm curious to see how short his fuse is with guys like Chris Henry, who won't be playing in a game like this, but just in general, now that the guy's on the squad and now that he's got beef with the front office.
All right, the final game I'm going to mention here is the Jags at the Titans. The Jags, obviously, coming out of a really rough week for them.
It's been a rough month.
2 weeks. Yeah, really rough, few weeks for them. So we're going to see how they handle it all. And then, of course, the Titans. I mean, lots of questions there, but Vince Young, obviously, always exciting to watch.
Vince Young is exciting. They got this rookie, Chris Johnson, who is a very, very fast kid. A lot of people are saying good things about him. Plus, they have a lot of running backs there. Lendo White, the kid from USC a couple years back, is a good player as well. No wide receivers on that team. That's too bad. And Vince Young.
Which is the problem that Vince is having.
I don't know. Do you think this is the year Vince Young takes the leap again? Like, are we going to see that sort of
I don't know if he has
from
team
game manager to superstar that is a threat every time out there on the field?
I don't think you can, like in the national championship.
Yeah, like are we ever going to see that on the pro game?
No.
I'm just curious.
No, not without some weapons. I know that's what people expect. You have to have more weapons around you. You can't get it done like that in the NFL.
In Jacksonville, I'm just curious because they've had so many things between Matt Jones's arrest, Fred Taylor getting arrested, the shooting here to Collie earlier this week.
And
this has been a tough couple month stretch really for this Jacksonville team, on a team
that
a lot of people think is going to go all the way.
And a team that I expect to be great, and I do expect them to win this game, but we'll see how they handle everything.
Final game to talk about here, Amber, another Southern game. This is between the Tampa Bay Bucks and the New Orleans Saints. You're a big Buck girl, I know. And I like the Saints because I'm a big fan of Drew Brees, but of course, it's all about Reggie, and of course, he does date Kim Kardashian, so that gives him some bonus points as well. Saints took a major step back after going to the NFC Championship just a year ago, and now are they ready to get back to the title game or back to the forefront of the NFC, or are they going to find themselves falling back to the pack and staying down there? And also with the Bucks team, a team that made the playoffs and yet gets no respect at all.
No respect. No Tampa Bay love. I have love for you.
Do you have love for Jeff Garcia? Is that your guy?
I have love for Jeff Garcia.
John Gruden, you a big fan of Chucky?
I'm a big fan of John Gruden.
You do?
I lots of love.
Do you think he's cute? Is that why? Is it a coaching thing or is it a physical thing?
He's kind of cute, actually, now that you say that. But I've never thought about it before because I am a true football fan. I am a true fan. All right, let's go ahead. I don't even notice how cute guys are. All right, let's go ahead and talk about this. You're not cute to me right now at all.
As opposed to this ugly orange and blue you're rocking. This is a beautiful orange. It's a beautiful.
That is a burnt.
This is no. What do you mean burnt? It's the same freaking orange you're wearing.
No, it's not. It's
I know
ugly.
mine's a little darker and yours is a little lamer.
Not like Tennessee burnt, but it's grody.
And look at that blue is just an awful looking awkward sea
blue. It's
Canes and Gators.
Blue.
Oh, this is gonna be a fun game.
This is gonna be a great game. I'm gonna be there.
You will be in Gainesville.
I will be in Gainesville.
Canes are going to get their ass kicked.
Oh, yeah, they are. Andy!
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm going to be objective here. This is my team. This is my school. This is my alma mater. And, you know, they've had some setbacks the last couple of years. Trust me, I know.
They did so well.
They look so good against Charleston Southern. And, you know, the Gators look so good against Hawaii, and none of that matters.
The Gators looked so good in the second half against Hawaii. We didn't look so good in the first half. We did have a tough first quarter.
Canes are bringing a rookie quarterback in there.
Perhaps we were reserving all of our power for
that's what it was. You were saving
the
points.
We have, by the way, 20 years of built-up aggression against these guys.
It's not my fault that you guys are a bunch of pansies and didn't want to play you through most of the 90s.
You guys were suspended for the entire 90s.
What are you talking about? Steve Spurrier went an entire 15-year stretch where he refused to play Miami.
You guys couldn't even play in a championship.
No, he did it because he didn't want to play Florida State and Miami every year because there was 2 losses for him. He couldn't beat Florida State and he knew he couldn't beat Miami.
You guys were all in jail, all in the 1990s.
Oh, as opposed to when we kicked all your asses in the Sugar Bowl, both off the field and then on the field as well.
Go back to prison. There's a lot of that. We're going to do a lot more of this, but it's going to be coming from me on Monday. All right, that's going to wrap us up here. We're going to take a look at the back page when we come back. Don't you go anywhere. Go Gators!
Woo!
For more great videos, check back every day on opensports.com.